The emergency council meeting was held in the largest chamber on Station Epsilon 7. Representatives from 43 species filled the circular room, sitting in seats designed for their various body types. At the center stood a holographic display, currently showing Earth rotating slowly. Minho Kang stood at the podium feeling very small. He was a xenobiologist, more comfortable with microscopes than crowds. But Ambassador Su-Young Han had chosen him to present humanity's case to the Galactic Coalition. "Thank you for coming," Minho began, his voice amplified by the translation system. "I know this meeting was called suddenly. I promise to explain everything." Council member Thex nodded from his seat. "Please proceed, Human Minho. The Council is very interested in understanding your species." Minho took a deep breath and activated the display. Earth disappeared, replaced by a chart of evolutionary pressures. To understand humans, you must understand where we came from. Our planet Earth is classified by your system as a Class 12 hazard world. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Several representatives shifted uncomfortably. For those unfamiliar with the classification, Minho continued, Class 12 means extreme danger to biological life. Most coalition species evolved on Class 1 through 4 worlds, safe planets with stable conditions. He brought up comparative data. Earth has high gravity compared to most inhabited worlds. Our oxygen concentration is 23%. Your scientists call this dangerously reactive. We call it breathing. A representative from the aquatic Moran species raised a tentacle. "How does high oxygen affect your evolution?" "It makes everything more energetic and more dangerous," Minho explained. "Fires burn hotter. Metals corrode faster. Biological processes run at higher speeds. Our metabolism is significantly faster than most species here." He changed the display to show Earth's bacterial diversity. The chamber went silent as the numbers appeared. "Earth has trillions of bacterial species," Minho said quietly. "They are everywhere. In our water, in our air, on every surface, inside our bodies." A crystalline being named Researcher Kickstal spoke up, their voice like wind chimes. "Inside your bodies? Are you infected?" "No, we're colonized," Minho corrected. "Humans carry several kilograms of bacteria in our digestive system alone. We need them to survive. They help us process food, create vitamins, and fight off dangerous microbes." He pulled up an image of the human digestive system. "We are not just one organism. We are a walking ecosystem. Trillions of microorganisms live in and on us. Most of them are helpful. Some are neutral. A few try to kill us every day. And you survive this?" Kick still sounded amazed. "We do better than survive. We weaponized it." Minho showed data on the human immune system. "Our bodies are in constant warfare. Every second of every day our immune system fights invaders. Bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi. We have multiple layers of defense all working simultaneously." He brought up more charts. White blood cells, antibodies, inflammatory responses, fever. We can raise our body temperature to kill infections. That would be fatal to many of you. But for us, it's just feeling sick for a few days. Ambassador Su-Young Han stood and joined Minho at the podium. She was older, with gray in her hair, and carried an air of calm authority. "May I add something?" "Please," Thex said. "I have reviewed your medical databases," Su-Young said. "Most coalition species have controlled, sterile environments. Your ships are clean. Your stations are sanitized. Your homeworlds have limited microbial life," she smiled. "Humans grew up in chaos. We had to. Earth tried to kill us from the moment we evolved. Predators, poisons, diseases, starvation, extreme weather. We survived by becoming tougher than everything else." Minho brought up human temperature tolerance data. Humans can function in temperatures from -40 to +50 degrees Celsius. Most of you need environments between 15 and 25 degrees. A reptilian delegate hissed softly. "That range is impossible." "It's difficult, not impossible," Minho said. "We adapt. We build shelters. We create fire. We make clothing. And our bodies adjust over generations. Humans living in hot climates develop different traits than humans in cold climates." He showed images of human diversity. People with dark skin in sunny regions, light skin in areas with less sunlight. Different body shapes optimized for different environments. "We spread across our entire planet," Minho explained. "Every climate zone. We live in deserts where daytime temperatures exceed 50 degrees. We live in Arctic regions where it drops below -50. We settled in mountains at 8,000 meters altitude where oxygen is thin. We built cities at sea level and below. Researcher Kixtal leaned forward. Your species is not specialized. You are generalized to survive anywhere. Exactly, Suyong confirmed. Humans are persistence hunters. We don't have claws or venom or armor. We have endurance. We keep going, we adapt, we survive. Minho pulled up videos of human activities. Marathon runners, mountain climbers, deep sea divers, storm chasers, cave explorers. The council watched in stunned silence as humans pushed their bodies to extremes, running for hours without stopping, climbing mountains in freezing weather, swimming in water that should cause hypothermia, diving to depths that should crush their bodies. This is normal for your species? Someone asked. These are recreational activities, Minho said. We do them for fun. He showed more footage. Spicy food eating contests, people sweating and crying while consuming peppers that measured millions on the Scoville scale. The capsaicin in those peppers is a chemical defense mechanism, Minho explained. Plants evolved it to stop mammals from eating them. Humans eat them competitively. Dr. Velthar, attending the meeting, spoke up. I have analyzed human dietary habits. They consume controlled rot, bacterial cultures, fungal growth, and chemical toxins. By choice, Minho nodded. We ferment foods to preserve them. We age cheese and meat. We brew alcohol from grains and fruits. We drink coffee and tea, both containing stimulants that would be dangerous to most species here. We sweeten our food with processed sugars. We salt everything. He brought up data on human salt consumption. Sodium chloride in the concentrations we eat would be toxic to many of you. We put it on almost every meal. Why? Kixtal asked. Why consume these dangerous substances? Because they taste good, Minho said simply. And because we can. Our bodies handle it. He showed detailed scans of human organs. Our liver is essentially a chemical processing plant. It breaks down toxins constantly. It can regenerate if damaged. Our kidneys filter our blood continuously, removing waste and toxins. They work much harder than comparable organs in other species. Suyong stepped forward again. Our planet also bombards us with radiation. Our star, our sun, sends harmful rays constantly. We had to develop melanin in our skin to protect us. Those with darker skin evolved in areas with more sun exposure. Those with lighter skin evolved where sunlight was weaker. She gestured to herself. I burn easily in strong sunlight, but I can still tolerate radiation levels that would harm many of you. All humans can. Minho brought up Earth's geological history. Our planet is violent. Earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, droughts, ice ages every few thousand years. Asteroid impacts, mass extinctions. The images showed destruction on a massive scale. Cities destroyed by earthquakes, coastlines swallowed by waves, forests buried in volcanic ash. Humans survived all of it, Minho said. We learned to predict disasters. We built stronger structures. We developed warning systems. We created emergency protocols. We didn't just survive. We built civilizations. Thex stood, his many legs clicking against the floor. I begin to understand. Your species evolved under constant pressure. You had no choice but to become resilient. More than resilient, Suyong corrected gently. We became adaptable. Give humans a problem, and we will find a solution. Give us a disaster, and we will survive it. Give us a poison, and we will either process it or turn it into food. Researcher Kixtal's crystalline form shimmered. Your planet is trying to kill you constantly. How do you live with that? Minho smiled. We don't think about it that way. Earth is our home. It's all we've ever known. The challenges are just part of life. We adapt, we overcome, we keep going. He closed the presentation with a simple image of Earth from space, blue and green and white, beautiful despite its dangers. This is where we come from, Minho said. We understand it makes us different. We know our biology seems extreme to you, but this is normal for us. We're not trying to be intimidating. We're just being human. Suyong addressed the council directly. We come to you in peace. We want to join the Galactic Coalition. We want to share our knowledge and learn from yours. We want to be part of this community. She paused, letting her words settle. But we also want you to understand us. We are survivors. It's coded into our DNA. We carry that heritage in every cell. When Dr. Velthar saw 47 toxins in a human's blood, he saw danger. We see Tuesday morning. The council sat in silence, processing everything they had learned. Finally, Thex spoke. The question before us is not whether humans can join the coalition. The question is what role they will fill. Another delegate agreed. A species that thrives in Class 12 conditions could go places we cannot. Could do things we cannot, added another. Minho and Suyong exchanged glances. This was going better than expected. We are not weapons, Suyong said firmly. We are, sir. The council deliberations continued for 3 days. Behind closed doors, representatives from 43 species debated humanity's place in the Galactic Coalition. Some were afraid. Others were curious. All of them were uncertain. On the 4th day, they called the human delegation back to the chamber. This time, Admiral Keon Nam joined Ambassador Suyong Han and the others. He was military, with the bearing of someone who had seen combat, though Earth had been at peace for decades before first contact. We have questions, Council Member Thex began. We need clarification before making our decision. Of course, Suyong said. We're happy to answer anything. A delegate from the merchant guilds, Mirsha, spoke first. Her species was aquatic, speaking through a water-filled translation device. Your presentation showed impressive survival capabilities, but we need specifics. What exactly can humans tolerate? Yunji Bei, a human biochemist, stepped forward with her datapad. I can provide exact numbers. She activated the holographic display. Human temperature tolerance: we can survive exposure from -40 degrees Celsius to +50 degrees. We remain functional between -20 to +40. Comfortable range is approximately 15 to 25 degrees, similar to many of you. But you can survive outside that range? Mirsha asked. With proper clothing and shelter, humans live permanently in environments from Arctic tundra to desert extremes, Yunji confirmed. Without protection, we can survive brief exposure to temperatures that would kill most coalition species within minutes. She brought up more data. Pressure tolerance. Humans function normally from sea level up to approximately 8,000 meters altitude. We can survive brief exposure to even higher altitudes, though we need time to acclimatize. A small bird-like delegate chirped a question. And underwater, humans can hold their breath for several minutes. Freedivers have reached depths of over 200 meters without equipment. With diving gear, we've gone much deeper. What about radiation? Another delegate asked. Yunji showed radiation tolerance charts. Humans evolved under a star that constantly bombards us with ultraviolet radiation. We have natural protection mechanisms. We can survive radiation levels that would be immediately lethal to many species here. Admiral Keon stepped forward. May I address the council? Thex nodded. I understand some of you are concerned about humanity's capabilities, Keon said, his voice steady and calm. You're worried we might be dangerous. I want to be clear about our intentions. He looked around the chamber, making eye contact with as many delegates as possible. Yes, humans evolved on a difficult world. Yes, we have biological advantages in extreme environments. But we are not weapons. We are not conquerors. How can you prove this? Someone asked. By our history, Keon replied. For the past 50 years, Earth has been at peace. No wars, no conflicts. We learned to resolve our differences through dialogue and cooperation. We could have used our technology for destruction. Instead, we used it for exploration. Suyong added, when we detected your signals from space, we could have approached with warships. We came with scientists and diplomats instead. We want to learn, not to fight. Mirsha's tentacles rippled thoughtfully. Your peaceful intentions are noted, but I am more interested in practical applications. If humans can survive extreme conditions, what does this mean for the Coalition? Yunji brought up industrial data. There are many environments where Coalition species cannot work safely. High radiation zones, toxic atmospheres, extreme temperatures. Humans could operate in these conditions with minimal protection. What kind of work? Mirsha asked, leaning forward. Mining operations on hostile planets, Yunji suggested. Maintenance work in radiation-heavy areas near stars. Emergency repairs in damaged ship sections. Exploration of Class 8 and higher worlds. The chamber buzzed with conversation. Representatives spoke to each other in dozens of languages, their translators creating a symphony of overlapping voices. Researcher Kickstall's crystalline body chimed for attention. I have spent the past 3 days reviewing human medical data. I must share my findings. They activated their own display showing detailed scans of human physiology. Human biology is unlike anything in our database. Their cellular structure is incredibly robust. Their DNA has multiple error correction mechanisms. Their immune system is more aggressive than any I have studied. Kixtal zoomed in on human blood cells. Look at these white blood cells. They attack foreign bodies with extreme prejudice. Human immune response is essentially controlled warfare at the microscopic level, happening constantly. Is this dangerous to other species? Someone asked nervously. No, Kixtal assured them. Human immune systems are designed for Earth pathogens. Our biology is too different for their immune systems to recognize us as threats. However, this also means humans are resistant to most known diseases in Coalition space. Dr. Velthar stood. I have also been studying human medicine. May I contribute? Please, Thex said. Velthar brought up his own research. In the 3 days since our initial discovery, I have scanned 27 humans on this station. All showed similar toxin levels. All were completely healthy by human standards. He displayed comparative charts. Human baseline is what we would consider emergency medical intervention levels for most species. But for them it is normal. Their bodies handle constant chemical stress without damage. What about injuries? A delegate asked. Do they heal normally? Better than normally, Velthar said, pulling up healing rate data. Human tissue regenerates quickly. Broken bones knit back together in weeks. Cuts and wounds close and scar. Their liver can actually regrow if partially damaged. They have redundant organs for critical systems. He showed anatomical diagrams. 2 kidneys, but they can survive with 1. 2 lungs, same situation. They can lose significant blood volume and recover. They can survive traumatic injuries that would be fatal to most of us. Admiral Keon nodded. Human resilience has been tested throughout our history. We've survived and recovered from wars, plagues, natural disasters, and famines. Our species has been brought to the brink of extinction multiple times. We're still here. Mirsha spoke again, her tone excited. Council members, I believe we are looking at this wrong. We're afraid of what humans can do. Instead, we should consider what they can do for us. She activated a new display showing Coalition industrial reports. We have 17 mining operations on hold because the environments are too dangerous. 12 research stations abandoned due to radiation exposure. 8 planets classified as uninhabitable but rich in resources. What are you suggesting? Thex asked. Humans could work in these environments, Mirsha said. With proper equipment and fair compensation, they could operate where we cannot. This would open new opportunities for the entire Coalition. You want to use humans as workers in dangerous conditions? Su-Young's voice had an edge to it. No, Mirsha said quickly. I want to offer humans opportunities to do work that only they can do, fairly compensated, voluntarily. No species would be forced into dangerous work. Admiral Keon considered this. What kind of compensation are we discussing? Full Coalition citizenship, Thex said. Access to all Coalition technology, trade networks, and knowledge. Representation in this council. Everything other member species receive. Plus, Mirsha added, premium pay for hazardous environment work. Humans would earn more because they're doing what others cannot. Yunji looked at Su-Yung, who nodded slightly. We would need guarantees, Yunji said. Safety protocols. Health monitoring. Limits on exposure time. We may be resistant to toxins, but we're not invincible. Agreed, Thex said. We would develop new safety standards specifically for human workers. Your medical professionals would help establish appropriate limits. A delegate who had been quiet until now spoke up. Their species looked like walking plants, green and flowing. I have a question about human culture. You evolved under constant threat. Does this make you aggressive? Su-Yung smiled. It makes us cautious and protective of those we care about. But aggression? No more than any other species. We learned that cooperation is more effective than conflict. Keon added, humans are social creatures. We form strong bonds with our groups, family, friends, colleagues. We protect each other. This extends to those we consider allies. So if we accept humans into the Coalition, the plant delegate said slowly, you would protect us as you protect your own? Yes, Su-Yung said without hesitation. That's what allies do. The chamber fell silent again. Representatives processed this information. Finally, Thex stood. The council needs time to vote and formalize our decision. But I believe I speak for many when I say that humanity's membership is likely. You offer unique capabilities. You seek cooperation, not conquest. You are exactly what the Coalition needs, he paused. But understand this, you are also frightening to many of us. Your biology is extreme. Your capabilities are unprecedented. It will take time for all species to become comfortable with your presence. We understand, Su-Yung said. We're patient. We've waited thousands of years to find you. We can wait a bit longer to earn your trust. As the meeting adjourned, delegates approached the humans with questions. Some wanted to see more, Dad. The medical bay on Galactic Station Epsilon 7 hummed with soft blue light. Daewon Kim sat on the examination table, swinging his legs like a child at a doctor's office. The table was too high for humans. Everything on this station was built for species that averaged 7 feet tall. 3 months had passed since humanity made first contact with the Galactic Coalition. 3 months since Earth learned they were not alone in the universe. Now Daewon was here as part of the first human delegation, representing his species to thousands of alien civilizations. This will not hurt, Dr. Velthar said, his translator device turning his clicking sounds into perfect Korean. The doctor was tall and thin, with skin that shifted between purple and blue depending on his mood. Forearms moved with practiced precision as he prepared the medical scanner. Daewon nodded. I understand. Just a standard checkup, right? Correct. We must scan all new species for our medical database. The Coalition has protocols. Dr. Velthar pressed a device against Daewon's arm. It felt cold. This will read your biological markers, blood composition, and cellular structure. Very routine. The human engineer watched as the machine drew a small sample of his blood. The doctor placed it into a large scanner that looked like something from a science fiction movie. Lights blinked. The machine whirred softly. How long does this take? Daewon asked. Only a few minutes. The scanner can analyze 847 known species patterns. Dr. Velthar turned to his display screen. I have scanned over 4,000 individuals in my career. Never had a single complication. Daewon smiled. Well, there's a first time for everything. He had no idea how right he was. The scanner beeped. Then it beeped again, faster. Then it started making a high-pitched wailing sound that hurt Daewon's ears. Red lights flooded the room. Dr. Velthar's skin turned completely white, which Daewon's cultural training told him meant absolute terror. What? What is it? Daewon jumped off the table. The doctor stared at his screen, all 4 hands shaking. His large eyes were wider than Daewon thought possible. This cannot be real. The machine must be broken. More alarms joined the first. Doors hissed open. 5 more alien medical staff rushed into the room, all wearing what looked like hazmat suits. They surrounded Daewon, keeping a careful distance. Stay back from the human, one of them shouted. Possible contamination event. Contamination? Daewon raised his hands. I feel fine. I just had breakfast. Dr. Velthar pulled up the scan results on the main wall display. The screen filled with red warning symbols and text in a dozen alien languages. Even without reading the words, Daewon could tell it was bad. You have 47 distinct lethal toxins in your bloodstream, Dr. Velthar said, his voice breaking. Some of these compounds are banned by the Geneva Convention of Planets. I have only seen these toxicity levels in bioweapon research facilities. Daewon blinked. 47? That seems like a lot. A lot? The doctor's skin flashed bright red. One of these toxins would kill a Draxian in seconds. You have 47! The other medical staff were backing toward the door. One of them was speaking rapidly into a communication device, probably calling for backup or maybe evacuating the station. Daewon thought about his morning. He woke up at 6 a.m. station time, took a shower, got dressed, went to the human quarters cafeteria for breakfast. He had coffee, 2 cups, black with sugar, some scrambled eggs, toast with butter and jam, a few strips of bacon, crispy the way he liked them. Orange juice, what did you eat this morning? Dr. Velthar demanded, pulling up another screen. Were you given something? Did someone poison you? No, just regular breakfast. Coffee, eggs, bacon, coffee? The doctor's skin turned purple and yellow in spots. The caffeine levels in your blood would cause immediate cardiac arrest in any known species. How are you still conscious? I only had 2 cups, Daewon said defensively. I usually have 3, but I was running late. Dr. Velthar pulled up a chemical analysis. Caffeine, capsaicin, ethanol metabolites, theobromine, acrylamide, heterocyclic amines. He kept reading, his voice getting higher with each word. You have consumed enough toxins to kill a battalion. Daewon checked his watch. Doctor, I really do feel fine. Better than fine, actually. It's Tuesday and I've got an engineering meeting in an hour. Tuesday? Dr. Velthar collapsed into a chair, which adjusted to support his different body shape. You speak of days while carrying a chemical weapons arsenal in your veins. The door opened again. This time Hana Park rushed in, still wearing her cultural liaison uniform. Behind her came Taeyang Choi, the human security officer assigned to their delegation. We heard the alarms, Hana said, looking around the room. Is Day One okay? He is toxic. Dr. Velthar pointed at the screen. Look at these readings. Taeyang studied the display, frowning. These are normal human levels, aren't they? Normal? The doctor stood up so fast his chair rolled backward. What kind of death world produces normal biology like this? Hana put a hand on Daewon's shoulder, checking him over with her eyes. Did you eat something weird? Just breakfast. Coffee and bacon, she nodded. Same as every Tuesday. You always have bacon on Tuesdays. Dr. Velthar looked between the three humans like they were insane. Does your species not understand? These toxin levels are impossible. Your liver should have failed. Your kidneys should have shut down. Your neural system should have collapsed. Daewon shrugged. My liver is fine. Had it checked last year. Doctor said it was healthy. Healthy? The alien doctor pulled up more scans. Your liver is processing poisons at a rate I have never seen in any biological system. It is working at what we would consider emergency overload capacity. Huh. Daewon looked at the images of his own organs on the screen. Is that bad? It should be fatal. Dr. Velthar's skin was now cycling through colors so fast he looked like a disco ball. But you are standing here talking about Tuesday breakfast like this is normal. Taeyang crossed his arms. It is normal. For humans. The doctor sat down again, all four hands on his head. I need to call the medical council. And possibly the military council. And maybe the religious council because I think I am witnessing a miracle. Daewon smiled apologetically. Sorry for the trouble. Should I come back later? No. All the medical staff shouted at once. Dr. Velthar took a deep breath, his skin settling to a pale blue. You are not leaving this medical bay until I understand what kind of biological nightmare your species evolved into. Someone please call the human medical doctor. We need answers. Hana pulled out her communication device. I'll call Dr. Jiwon. She's going to laugh when she hears about this. Laugh? Dr. Velthar's eyes widened again. There is nothing funny about carrying enough toxins to classify as a biological hazard. Daewon sat back on the examination table, resigned to a long wait. He pulled out his own device and sent a message to his engineering team. Going to be late. Medical stuff. Nothing serious. Dr. Velthar saw the message and made a choking sound. Nothing serious? Nothing serious. It was going to be a long Tuesday. Dr. Jiwon Lee arrived at the medical bay 20 minutes later, carrying a coffee cup and looking annoyed at being called away from her research. She was the only human doctor on the station, tasked with helping the Galactic Coalition understand human medicine. The scene she walked into looked like a disaster movie. Medical staff rushed around in protective gear. Scanners beeped warnings. Dr. Velthar stood in the center of it all, his skin flashing colors like a broken traffic light. What's the emergency? Jiwon asked, taking a sip of her coffee. Dr. Velthar pointed at Daewon, who was still sitting on the examination table playing a game on his device. That is the emergency. Your human is filled with lethal toxins. Jiwon walked over to the main display and studied the readout. Her eyes scanned the list of compounds. Then she started laughing. Not a polite chuckle, but a full, deep laugh that made her bend over. This is not funny. Dr. Velthar's skin turned angry red. He could die at any moment. No, he won't. Jiwon wiped tears from her eyes. These are normal human metabolic markers. Daewon, what did you have for breakfast? Coffee and bacon, Daewon answered without looking up from his game. Like every Tuesday. Jiwon nodded and pulled up her own device. Dr. Velthar, let me show you something. She connected to the medical display and brought up human dietary records. This is a standard human diet. The alien doctor stared at the list. Coffee, tea, chocolate, peppers, alcohol, processed meats, aged cheese, fermented vegetables. The chemical compounds next to each item were highlighted in red by the medical system. These are all classified as toxic, Dr. Velthar said slowly. Why are they in a dietary database? Because we eat them, Jiwon said simply. Humans don't just tolerate these compounds. We actively seek them out. We enjoy them. One of the other medical staff, a small green alien with 6 eyes, spoke up nervously. The caffeine concentration in his blood would cause immediate neural failure in my species. Fatal within 30 seconds, G1 pointed to her coffee cup. I've had 3 cups this morning. Want to scan me too? Dr. Velthar did exactly that. He ran the same blood analysis on G1. The results came back nearly identical to day one's. 45 toxins instead of 47, but the same terrifying levels. Hana, come here, G1 called. Hana Park stepped forward, and the doctor scanned her too. Same results. Then Taeyang, same thing. All 3 humans showed what the medical system classified as lethal toxicity levels. This is impossible, Dr. Velthar whispered. A biological system cannot function under these conditions. And yet here we are. G1 pulled up another file. Let me explain human evolution, Doctor. Earth is what you classify as a Class 12 hazard world. The room went quiet. Even the medical staff stopped moving. Class 12? The green alien's voice shook. Nothing lives on Class 12 worlds. They are too dangerous. Humans do, G1 said. We evolved there. Our planet tried to kill us every single day. Bacteria, viruses, parasites, toxic plants, venomous animals. We survived by developing the most aggressive immune and metabolic systems in known space. She pulled up an image of human liver structure. This organ processes toxins constantly, every minute of every day. What you see as emergency overload, that's our normal operating state. Dr. Velthar studied the image, his skin slowly shifting to a thoughtful green. Your liver it's like a military defense system. Exactly, G1 smiled. And our kidneys work the same way. Our bodies are in constant warfare with everything we consume. We won that war millions of years ago. She brought up more data. Capsaicin, the compound in hot peppers? It's literally designed by plants to stop mammals from eating them. We put it on everything. We have eating contests to see who can handle the most. Why? Dr. Velthar asked, genuinely confused. Why would you eat something designed to hurt you? Day 1 looked up from his game. Because it tastes good, Ji-Wan continued. Alcohol? It's a cellular poison. We drink it recreationally. Caffeine? Neural stimulant that should cause heart failure. We use it to wake up in the morning. Chocolate contains theobromine, which is toxic to most earth mammals. We give it as gifts to people we love. She pulled up another chart. Humans regularly consume fermented foods. That's controlled bacterial rot. We eat aged cheese, which is essentially old milk covered in mold. We cure meats with salt concentrations that would preserve a corpse. And we call it delicious. The medical staff looked at each other with what could only be described as horror. One of them, a tall alien with crystal-like skin, spoke carefully. Your species eats rot? Some of our most expensive foods are fermented for years, Ji-Wan confirmed. Wine, whiskey, kimchi, soy sauce. We pay extra for older versions. Dr. Velthar sat down heavily. I have studied xenobiology for 40 standard years. I have never encountered anything like this. That's because most species in the coalition evolved on nice, safe worlds, Ji-Wan said, not unkindly. Planets with stable climates, manageable bacteria, and gentle evolutionary pressures. Earth was not gentle. She pulled up geological data on Earth. Our planet has high oxygen levels, which makes everything more reactive and dangerous. We have extreme weather, earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes. Our star bombards us with radiation constantly. Our moon creates massive tides. We have ice ages every few thousand years. And humans survived all of this? The green alien sounded amazed. We thrived in it, Ji-Wan corrected. We spread to every continent, every climate zone, mountains, deserts, frozen tundra, tropical jungles. We adapted to all of it. Dr. Velthar was reviewing the data with all 4 hands, reading multiple screens at once. Your temperature tolerance range is incredible. -40 degrees to +50 degrees Celsius. Those are just the extremes where humans live permanently, Ji-Wan said. We can survive brief exposure to even worse conditions. She brought up human anatomical data. We have redundant systems for everything important. 2 kidneys, but we can survive with 1. 2 lungs, same thing. Our liver can regenerate if partially damaged. Our blood clots to seal wounds automatically. Our bones are incredibly strong for our size. We heal from injuries that would be permanent for many species. You are not a species, Dr. Velthar said softly. You are a collection of survival mechanisms wrapped in skin. Ji-Wan laughed. That's actually pretty accurate. Daewon stood up and stretched. So can I go to my meeting now? I really do have work to do. Dr. Velthar looked at him like he was crazy. You want to just leave? After learning you are a walking biological hazard? I'm not a hazard, Daewon said patiently. I'm just human. This is normal for us. A door opened and Council Member Thex entered the room. He was insectoid with a hard shell and multiple legs. His species was one of the oldest in the Coalition. I heard there was a medical emergency, Thex said, his translator giving his clicks a formal tone. What is the situation? Dr. Velthar gestured helplessly at the screens. The situation is that humans are biologically impossible, yet here they are, drinking poison and calling it Tuesday. Council Member Thex studied the data carefully. His compound eyes moved across the information slowly. Finally, he turned to Jiwan. Your planet is really Class 12? Yes, sir. And all humans can survive these toxin levels? Yes, sir. These levels are actually on the lower end for us. Thex was quiet for a long moment. Then he made a clicking sound that the translator didn't convert. Probably a curse in his native language. We need to call an emergency council meeting, Thex said. The Coalition needs to understand what humanity represents. This changes everything. Changes what? Daewon asked. We just want to join the Coalition peacefully. Oh, you will join, Thex said. But first, we need to figure out what to do with a species that treats lethal toxins as a light snack. Jiwan smiled. Welcome to humanity, gentlemen. We're full of surprises. Dr. Velthar looked at his screens one more time, then back at the human standing calmly in his medical bay. I need to update our entire medical database. This will take months. Take your time, Doc, Daewon said, heading for the door. I'll be around. As the humans left, Dr. Velthar turned to Council Member Thex. What kind of universe allows a species like this to exist? Thex's translator caught his quiet response. A universe that needed survivors. 3 weeks had passed since the council meetings. The human delegation had settled into a routine on Station Epsilon 7, waiting for the final vote on their membership. Daewon had finally been allowed to return to his engineering work, though Dr. Velthar still asked him to come in for scans twice a week. Hyun Park sat in the human quarters common room, reviewing repair manuals for Coalition ship systems. She was a rescue specialist back on Earth, trained in emergency response and disaster recovery. Here she was trying to make herself useful while the politicians decided humanity's fate. The alarm changed everything. Red lights flooded the corridors. A voice spoke in multiple languages through the station's communication system. Emergency. Mining station Kala 4 reports catastrophic chemical leak. All rescue teams to docking bay immediately. Hyun was moving before the announcement finished. She grabbed her emergency kit and ran toward the docking bay. When she arrived, she found chaos. Station Commander Belric stood at the center of a crowd of rescue personnel, all different species, all looking worried. He was tall and covered in smooth gray skin, with eyes that could see in multiple spectrums. What's the situation? Hyun asked, pushing through the crowd. Belric looked at her with what might have been hope. Mining Station Kala 4. They were extracting rare minerals from a Class 9 planet. Something went wrong. A storage tank ruptured. The entire facility is flooded with toxic gas. He brought up holographic displays showing the station layout. Red areas marked contaminated zones. They covered almost everything. How many workers? Hyun asked. 23, all Vrin species. They're trapped in the central safe room, but their air supply will only last 30 minutes. Maybe 40 if they stay calm. Where are the rescue ships? 6 hours away, Belric said, his voice heavy with grief. The nearest properly equipped vessel is too far. By the time they arrive, he didn't need to finish. Everyone understood. Jan studied the contamination readings. Hydrogen sulfide, chlorine gas, sulfur dioxide, acidic vapor. The concentration levels were marked in red. Lethal, immediately fatal to all known species except one. I can go, Hyun said. The room went silent. Everyone turned to look at her. What? Belric asked. I can survive in that environment long enough to evacuate the workers, Hyun said, her mind already working through the logistics. These toxin levels are high but not immediately lethal to humans. I'll need breathing equipment for the oxygen, but I can handle the chemical exposure. You would die, Belric said flatly. Those toxins would burn your lungs, destroy your cells, shut down your organs. Eventually, yes, Hyun admitted. But not in the first few hours. Human respiratory systems can filter out a lot of harmful substances. Our skin is more resistant to chemical burns than most species. Our cells can function under stress. She pulled out her data pad and called up human toxin resistance charts. Look, hydrogen sulfide, dangerous to humans at high concentration, but we can survive brief exposure. Chlorine gas. Same thing. We use these as weapons in our wars. Soldiers survived exposure with proper treatment. Dr. Velthar had arrived, summoned by the emergency. He looked at the data, then at Hyan, then back at the data. The concentration levels are far higher than battlefield exposure. I know, Jan said. But I also know I can do this. Those workers will die if someone doesn't help them. I can be there in 20 minutes with a fast shuttle. Belric struggled with the decision. I cannot send someone on a suicide mission. It's not suicide if I survive, Jan said. And I will survive. I'm trained for this. Back on Earth, I've worked in chemical spills, industrial accidents, disaster zones. This is what I do. Jinwoo Seo appeared, running into the docking bay. I heard the alarm. What's happening? Jan quickly explained. Jinwoo, an engineer like Daewon, listened carefully. Then he nodded. I'm coming with you. You don't have rescue training, Jan said. No, but I have engineering training. I can help seal the leak while you evacuate workers. 2 humans are better than 1. Ambassador Su Young Han arrived next, slightly out of breath. I heard someone is planning something dangerous. We're helping, Jan said firmly. Those workers need rescue, and we're the only ones who can do it. Su Young looked at the contamination readings. She closed her eyes for a moment, then opened them with decision in her face. Do it, but you follow every safety protocol. You monitor your exposure. You get out the moment the workers are safe. Yes, Ambassador, Hyun and Jinwoo said together. Dr. Velthar was already pulling up medical data. I'm coming on the shuttle. I'll monitor your vital signs remotely. If your body starts failing, I'm pulling you out. Fair enough, Hyun agreed. 15 minutes later, they were on a fast shuttle racing toward the mining station. Hyun and Jinwoo wore protective suits, but not the heavy containment gear that would be required for any other species. They had oxygen masks, chemical-resistant gloves, and basic covering for their skin. This is insane, the shuttle pilot muttered. She was a small, furry species that looked like an earth otter. No one survives Class 9 contamination. Humans do, Jinwoo said, checking his equipment. We're from a Class 12 world, remember? The shuttle docked with the mining station. Emergency airlock sealed. Hyun and Jinwoo stood at the inner door, ready to enter Hell. Vital signs? Hyun asked. Dr. Velthar, monitoring from the shuttle, responded. Both reading normal. Heart rate elevated, but that's expected. You're nervous. Wouldn't you be? Hyun asked. Yes, Velthar admitted. Be careful, the door opened. Yellow-green gas poured into the airlock. Hyun's eyes started watering immediately. Her throat burned. Her skin tingled where the vapor touched it. How bad? Jinwoo asked, his voice muffled by the oxygen mask. Bad, Hyun admitted, but manageable. Let's move. They stepped into the contaminated station. The gas was thick enough to reduce visibility. Warning lights flashed red. The chemical smell was overwhelming even through their masks. Station Kayla 4, this is rescue team. Hyun spoke into her communicator. We're inside. Where are you? Central safe room, a panicked voice responded. Who is this? The nearest rescue ship is hours away. Change of plans, Hyun said. We're humans. We can survive this environment, stay calm. We're coming to you. They moved through the corridors. Jinwoo checked his scanner. The main leak is in Section 7. I can seal it if I can reach the emergency controls. Workers first, Hyun said. Leak second. They found the safe room. 23 Vrin workers huddled inside, their faces showing terror. The safe room door was sealed, keeping the worst of the contamination out, but their air was running low. Hyun checked the door controls. I can open this, but the gas will flood in. You'll all need to hold your breath and move fast. We cannot survive that gas, one worker shouted. Even seconds of exposure would kill us. I know, Hyun said. That's why I'm going to carry you. 2 at a time. Jinwoo will lead you back to the shuttle. You hold your breath, close your eyes, and trust us. She looked at Jinwoo. Ready? Let's do it. The door opened. Gas poured in. The Vrin workers screamed. Hyun grabbed the 2 closest workers, lifting them like they weighed nothing. Adrenaline gave her strength, and the Vrin were smaller and lighter than humans. She ran. The workers buried their faces against her suit, trying not to breathe. The gas burned her exposed skin. Her eyes streamed tears. Her lungs ached even with the oxygen mask. She made it to the shuttle airlock. The pilot had it ready, clean air waiting. She set the workers down gently. Breathe. You're safe. Back to the safe room. Again and again. Hyun and Jinwoo worked as a team, carrying workers 2 at a time through the toxic environment. The Vryn were terrified, but they trusted these strange humans who walked through poison like it was nothing. On the 7th trip, Hyun's legs started shaking. The chemicals were affecting her. Burns appeared on her arms where the gas had concentrated. Her breathing was labored. Hyun, your vital signs are dropping, Dr. Velthar warned. You need to get out. 4 more workers, Hyun gasped. Almost done. She grabbed 2 more, nearly stumbling. Jinwoo supported her, helping her back to the shuttle. His own skin was red and irritated, his eyes swollen. Last trip. 2 final workers. Hyun could barely see. Her body was screaming at her to stop, to get out, to breathe clean air. But these workers needed her. She made it to the shuttle with the last 2 Vryn. All 23 workers were safe. Jinwoo collapsed against the wall, coughing. Now the leak, he rasped. No, Dr. Velthar said firmly. Both of you are done. You've done enough. The station will be destroyed if that leak isn't sealed, Jinwoo argued. Hyun looked at the young engineer. He was barely standing, but determination burned in his eyes. She understood. They had come this far. Together, she said. They stumbled back into the contaminated areas. Jinwoo's scanner guided them to the emergency controls. His hands shook as he worked the system, entering commands to seal the damaged section and vent the toxic gas into space. Almost. There, he muttered. The system beeped. Seals engaged. Vents opened. Slowly the gas began to clear. Done, Jinwoo said, then fell to his knees. Hyun grabbed him, dragging him back to the shuttle. They collapsed in the clean air, both coughing and gasping. Dr. Velthar was immediately scanning them with medical equipment. You were exposed for 43 minutes. This should have killed you both several times over.